Are you looking for an impressive cheesecake? Look no further. This banana split cheesecake has it all. A great banana flavored cheesecake batter, cherry pie filling, and the best banana split topping with maraschino cherries, fresh banana slices, freshly whipped cream, and a chocolate ganache topping. So without further ado, let's get started. I'm gonna start with making the graham cracker crust. For that, crush up some graham crackers in a food processor, or you can use a rolling pin and a Ziploc bag instead. You could also use digestive cookies, then you don't need as much sugar. Then fill it into a bowl and add some sugar. You can add more or less to your preference. And add melted butter to make it come together when it's baked. Mix it with a spatula until it's all combined. It should resemble wet sand. Let's set it aside and bring in a cheesecake pan. Spray it with some baking oil and then line it with a parchment paper round for an easy release after baking. Fill in all the crumbs and then press it down into one even layer. You can use a cup or anything with a flat surface. Some people also like to use their hands. I chose for this cheesecake to just have the crust on the bottom, but you can also make it go up the sides if you like that. Once it is packed nicely, bake it for about 10 minutes at 350 degrees Fahrenheit. Next, off to the cheesecake batter. For that we need softened cream cheese and we need a lot of it. So we gotta use 4 packages of full-fat cream cheese. Add a bit of all-purpose flour to stabilize it and thicken it, white sugar to add some sweetness, and a cup of ripened mashed bananas that I strained before to get rid of any bigger pieces. Of course, don't forget about the vanilla extract, it makes everything taste better. Mix it with a hand mixer or a stand mixer until it's really nice and smooth. This should take about 4 minutes. Make sure you mix it on a low setting to not mix in too many air bubbles. Once it is nice and smooth like this, add some sour cream. And then you can also add the eggs already if you want. Mix it on a low speed until it's super creamy. And also scrape it down from time to time. You see, I should have used a bigger bowl because it's filled right to the top. But no worries, nothing got spilled, thank God. So set the batter aside and bring in the baked and cooled crust. Fill all the cheesecake batter on top, fill it right up with all the cheesecake batter. And make sure to scrape out the bowl with a spatula to not leave any of the delicious batter behind. And then spread it out with a spatula to make a nice and even surface. Next, add dollops of cherry pie filling. I like to use more of the cherry fruit part and less of the jello, to add more texture without adding too much liquid. And then if you think you have enough filling, you can swirl it in. And even push it down a little bit so you have more cherries in the center of the cheesecake and not everything stays on top. Before we can bake the cheesecake, let's make a water bath. For that we're going to use a bigger baking pan and a silicone pan to cover the cheesecake from the water. You could also use heavy-duty aluminum foil, but I make so many cheesecakes so it was just easier to get a silicone baking pan. Just fill it up with hot water and then bake it at 310 degrees Fahrenheit for about 80 minutes. Make sure to read the written recipe regarding cooling times and how to cool it correctly. Once the cheesecake has chilled enough, you can remove the cheesecake pan just by pushing it downwards. Since it is not a springform pan, many people think it's a regular cake pan, but it's actually a removable bottom cheesecake pan. You might know them from cupcake-sized cheesecake pans. My favorite part is to decorate the cheesecake. So for that, place it on a cake stand and pour over some decadent chocolate ganache. For me, it cannot be enough chocolate ganache, so I like to add a lot to fill up the whole surface in one layer, and then even make it drip down the sides a little bit. You can use a spatula for that, or even fill it into a drip bottle and apply a neat drip. This already reminds me of a banana split. It has cherries, bananas, chocolate. Now what's missing is whipped cream. So we're going to whip up some heavy cream with powdered sugar. I'm gonna go pipe on some whipped cream swirls. But be aware, you don't want the swirls to be too tall because you're gonna add some maraschino cherries on top and it would make a really tall topping. Decent sized swirls are perfect. You can either do it like me and first pipe all the whipped cream swirls and then lastly put the banana slices on, or you can alternate between swirls and banana slice in between, whatever fits best for you. And that's it. This is my take on a banana split cheesecake with a thick graham crust, a banana cheesecake batter with lots of cherries baked inside, and a great banana split topping. You could also add some sprinkles or nuts if you want to make it more festive. You'll find the full recipe on my blog luisitabakes.com. If you have any questions, leave a comment down below and I will get back to you as soon as possible. Happy baking, bye!